Residents of South Suburban Dolton reacting to a Fox 32 investigation that found a new village employee with a dangerous criminal past.
He is a registered child offender, and he's now been hired by the village to go into people's homes and businesses.
Now, furious village trustees are taking steps to curb the mayor's power.
As you can see, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard isn't so super after all.
You are now listening to Pree Da Production with your host, Madaro.
What is up, my fellow people? Welcome back to the Pree Da Production YouTube channel. It's your boy Midge. And you already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to grow the community. And by sharing this with your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. And we have reached 300 subscribers. Thank you guys for showing the love and support. And as always, I'm going to try my best to get these videos out often and frequent. But recently it's been tough with, family life and all that things there. But on today's video, I thought we'd go back in time just a couple of months where we covered the Dolton Township Mayor, the Dolton Township Super Mayor, Tiffany Henyard. So, just a quick update on the videos. Done a couple of rounds here and there. Got a good rating and good feedback. A lot of people had a lot of things to say. But there was this one comment that piqued my interest. Let's have a look. It's at Nora Angel. Okay. She says, or they say, sorry, I'm assuming genders. My apologies. They say, y'all need to do some research. Smearing people's reputation for political gain and power should be a felony charge offense. First of all, these people in the pieces are all trustees of Dolton who can't control her and are trying to remove her and prevent her from doing what looks to be the work to improve and care for all of the community. They have sued her 20 times and lost. Secondly, she, like every other mayor before her, has the right to that detail, especially when you have colleagues who do things like falsely put you on blast. Again, they lost every one of the lawsuits and caused people like the YouTuber to spread wrong opinions, causing you to get international death threats. And did I mention that the 5 million debt is because one of the interviewed trustees continuously won't sign the approved checks to pay vendors who have already done the work? This, of course, incurs interest because the debt hasn't been paid and causes vendors to stop working for the municipality. Wow. She said a whole lot of nothing. I did do some research, and the research that I did was covered in that video. They have sued, this is the first claim, they have sued her 20 times and have lost every single one of them. I did some research, couldn't find any evidence of her being sued by the trustees. The only thing I can see is a recall. People trying to recall the election saying, this isn't what was supposed to happen, or this is a fraudulent, election or something or the other. But that didn't get passed. So she's still in power. She said someone wasn't signing off on the checks to pay vendors. I couldn't find anything on that. I'm sorry. So those are the things that she said that I got wrong. That they're suing her 20 times, lost all of them, couldn't find any evidence, and that one of the trustees was supposed to sign off on the checks, and they didn't. Did some research, couldn't find that either. So I said to her, can you please send the link? Much appreciated, being kind. Still waiting for a response. 2 days later, still waiting for that research. No response. So I took up by myself to do some more digging into Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. And you'll never guess what more crud this woman has been up to over the past 2 years. Let's get into it.
Now to Campaign 2022. In a recall fight in Chicago's south suburbs, people in the village of Dolton voted to kick the mayor out of office. But as CBS 2's Dermot Terry reports, the mayor is not going anywhere for now.
Just over a year after getting sworn in as Dolton's mayor, voters recalled Tiffany Henyard Tuesday. We listened to the community. The community has asked us, what can we do? They were uncomfortable with lack of transparency. They were uncomfortable with the spending.
Village trustee Jason House believes the referendum to recall the mayor was necessary and fair.
We are a democracy. The people have spoken, and we really are going to do everything we can to make sure that their voice is heard.
But the mayor took her fight to court and won in the lower court. This ruling by the Illinois Appellate Court days before Tuesday's election said the recall election could go on, and those votes can get counted but not certified.
What you have here is absolutely a legal roller coaster.
CBS 2 legal analyst Irv Miller says despite the recall prevailing, it's unclear where the votes stand at this moment.
They've asking for time to review it. They could say after they review it in September, hey, these votes count, this mayor's out of office. Or in the alternative, they could say, hey, listen, this wasn't a valid election. This mayor's staying right where she's at.
Mayor Henyard says, I remain confident the appellate court will affirm the recall initiative is unconstitutional. But sadly, because the vote was allowed to happen, our community is more divided than ever. As we await a final decision from the appellate court, I will continue to do the work I'm doing now to serve the people of Dolton.
I think our community is really, really suffering.
Now, Mayor spokesman says many of her supporters were confused and opted not to cast a vote on the recall, but we're told only 100 people left that section blank on the ballot, while more than 400 votes separated the recall decision. The appeals in this case could go all the way to the state Supreme Court. Live in the newsroom tonight, Jermont Terry.
So if that was the lawsuits they were yapping on about, I've looked into the situation and that is still not resolved. It's still not resolved. There's still this, does it count, does it not count, which votes are going to get certified and ratified, but nothing's really moved on that situation. So you can't even say that she won or lost. But that's how this whole thing started. They saw her spending and they were like, nah, we made the wrong choice. Let's recount those votes real quick and see if we can, find our way out of this situation. That's what the town people were doing. It's only downhill from here, really, because what happens next, or what I found next, would shock you guys, alright? This mayor goes out of her way to block citizens from engaging in recreational activities that involve the community. Like, I don't know, a car show, There's a yearly car show in Dolton, and because that show clashed with one of her events, she took upon herself to block every way this car show could happen, and she decided, nah, I don't want no attention to go away from my event, so you guys can either join me, or you can not have an event at all. And what she does is wild.
It was just so crazy when I arrived here Friday and saw the blocks.
A South Suburban car show is canceled after the entrance is barricaded with giant concrete blocks.
Now, the sponsor of that show and the Park District are calling it an act of revenge by the mayor in Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placo reports the Park District is now considering a lawsuit against the mayor.
Another lawsuit.
Always a good time for everybody that comes out. Fun, exciting, good for the community.
For the past 8 years, Darren Bosley has organized an annual car show here in the parking lot of Needles Park in Dolton. But after paying $1,000 to the Park District for this year's permit, Bosley got an unexpected call last Wednesday from Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's top assistant,
saying that the show would be shut down, but if I move my event to her location on Greenwood, that I will be fine.
Did you take that as a threat?
Yes, I took that as bullying.
Sure enough, when Bosley showed up at the park Saturday morning, he found that giant concrete barricades had been placed at the entrance, and Dolton police were threatening to tow any cars that parked there.
We're talking about two different governments. We're talking about the park government versus the village government.
Dolton Park District President Cleo Jones says Mayor Henyard has no legal authority over Park District property and believes she didn't want the competition to hurt attendance at her own event, a house music festival a few blocks away.
So I'm not sure what her tactics were other than trying to bully us and push us away, but that's not going to happen here.
We are walking all over Cancer on our way to Springfield.
Henyard is no stranger to controversy. Fox 32 recently reported how Henyard used village employees and funds to pay for a march to Springfield to support a charity in her name. What would you say to the mayor about this?
Get your life together. Get your act together. This is wrong for people that spend money with the park district to try to throw an event, peaceful event, fine event, and it's good for the community, but you're taking that away from everybody.
We left multiple voicemails and emails with the Village of Dolton and the mayor, but so far, no response. The Dolton Park District president says they're considering suing the mayor and the village for overstepping their legal authority. In Dolton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Literally, that is basically how it goes in Dolton. Where you try to get a quote, you try to communicate with the mayor, you try to get in touch. Why is this happening? Why is there a blockade outside the park districts? I'm trying to, host an event. I paid, £1,000 or $1,000 to host an event for the community. Now I can't do this. Everyone's come out, or everyone's going to come out. But because you're being petty and you didn't want attention to go off your event, I don't understand. It makes no sense. You're supposed to be there for the people. But this is how you've been moving like a petty guy. Oh, all the attention's got to be on me. You're a civil servant. The attention's not supposed to be on you if you're doing your job correctly. And by all these Fox 32 reports about you that are out here for everyone to see, it seems like you have had the spotlight on you for a minute, and this is only just coming to the light for me now. So the next scandal she was involved in that I could see is, once she got elected, what did she do? Did she surround herself with wise, older officials who know the ropes, who have done a good job in previous districts or have advised other peoples on a national level? No, she gets in bed with one of the most corrupt government officials over the past 20 years in Chicago, a Miss, I'm not sure which one, Miss Dorothy Brown, who's been involved in numerous federal investigations and scandals over a 20-year span regarding spending and other alleged crimes. Let's see how they reported on this.
Just months after stepping down as Cook County Circuit Court clerk, Dorothy Brown has landed back on the public payroll.
But her new six-figure job in South Suburban Dolton is causing concern for some elected officials in that village.
Fox 32's Dane Placco investigates how a new federal corruption scandal in Brown's old office is prompting some trustees to call for her departure.
This is a historical moment.
Former Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown serving as host at last May's swearing-in ceremony for Tiffany Henyard, the first female mayor of Dolton, who calls Brown her godmother and mentor.
Especially, and I do mean especially, my campaign advisor, the retired clerk, Dorothy Brown.
Last year, Brown stepped down after a tumultuous 20 years in public office, marked by a series of scandals and federal investigations. She was never charged. In December, Brown began collecting her Cook County pension of nearly $90,000 a year.
Thank you, Mayor Henyard, and to the trustees.
But
did she say 90? Did he say 90,000 a year for a pension for a government official? What? Yo, whatever they're doing in America is crazy.
Now, Dorothy Brown is back on the public payroll, thanks to Dolton's new mayor.
She's running the mayor, not the village.
Today, 4 of Dolton's 6 trustees met me outside Village Hall to raise concerns about Brown's hiring as Dolton Village Administrator at $100,000 a year.
We believe that Dorothy Brown controls over administrative affairs, and her influence on the mayor has not been in the best interest of the village.
The trustees say they approved Brown's hiring last May with assurances from the mayor that it was a transitional position that would end in the middle of November.
No longer than 6 months, so she's temporary once again.
We're 5 months into this administration. The position still has not been posted. No applications have been taken. Well, I feel like we've been lied to about the transition of Dorothy Brown.
The trustees complain that Brown and the mayor have made numerous hires and big decisions without their input. And when they ask Brown for information,
and she stated, hey, this is the mayor. She makes the decisions, and you all need to follow her lead and do what was asked of you all.
and not ask any questions.
Trustees say they're also alarmed by news this week that a Pennsylvania man pleaded guilty in federal court to corruptly providing benefits to Dorothy Brown. The federal indictment says businessman Donald Doniger Jr. admits he paid some of the expenses for a 2014 Dorothy Brown Awards event in return for his belief that he continued to get contracts from Brown's office. Doniger has also agreed to cooperate in the ongoing federal investigation.
I just don't want her personal life to affect Dolton and to bring a cloud over Dolton.
We went to Village Hall to try to talk to the mayor.
I'm sorry, but the mayor is not in at this time.
Okay. So we went to her home, where we were met by 2 Dolton police officers blocking the way. Well, we're going to go knock on her door now. I can't let you do that. While we never talked to the mayor or Dorothy Brown, a village spokesperson later told us Brown will be leaving her position at the end of 6 months.
I had a conversation with the mayor this morning, and as the mayor stated, she does support Ms. Brown. She's done amazing work in the village.
The job hasn't been posted. Why is that?
I have no idea.
You would think they would start interviewing candidates if she was going to be leaving in a month.
I have no idea.
Trustees say it's time for one of the county's most controversial politicians to say goodbye.
I think the influence of Dorothy Brown hasn't been the greatest influence on the mayor. And this direction that they're going through, we just completely disagree with. And we have to do something.
In Dolton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
So, those are the people, those are the type of people that are advising Superman Tiffany Henyard. Doesn't look good reading, doesn't look good viewing. So when someone leaves a comment saying I need to do some more research, and these trustees are the ones suing her and they've lost every single one, I did my research and this is what I'd be finding. This is what I'd be finding. And it gets worse. There's worse. She's been accused of, fostering a toxic work environment. Like a lot of these fraudulent politicians and fraudulent leaders, they like to have their way or the highway. And if you're not with them, you're against them. There's no communication. There's no let's work, let's compromise, let's, make sure everything's done prim and proper and right for the Dolton citizens. Nope. If you didn't do what I tell you to do, you're fired. Or at least I'm going to threaten to fire you. If you don't cooperate, you might find yourself outside doing the paperwork. I might change your locks. I might lock you out of the whole building. I might, move your desk to outside, and you're going to be pushing notes from there. Because that's what happened here in Dolton.
Good afternoon, I'm Anthony Ponce.
And I'm Natalie Bumke. The elected assessor for Thornton Township was locked out of her office today following a dispute with the township supervisor.
Dane Placco is live for us. First
Dane, big up Dane.
Yeah, Cassandra Elston has been the township assessor here in Thornton Township for the past 10 years. This morning she got a call from her staff saying something weird was going on at the office, and we talked to her about what happened next. Take a look. This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
The lock got changed?
Yes.
That's right. Thornton Township Assessor Cassandra Elston got locked out of her own office, what appears she believes to be retaliation from Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. Now, both are elected positions, and the assessor says the supervisor has no legal standing to take any action over her office. Elston has been critical of Henyard's actions, including massive spending, as we reported last week, using Township and Village of Dolton employees to benefit a charitable fund that she created last year. You see, Henyard is also the Dolton mayor. The assessor says that boxes of sensitive documents that were under lock and key containing names, addresses, social security numbers of taxpayers are now sitting out in the open in the common area of the office. But look what happened in the middle of our interview inside the assessor's own office. So what are you going to do about this?
Well, I guess right now I'm going to work from here. But this is not going to stop me. This is my job. This is what I get paid to do. Excuse me. And that's what I'm going to do.
Stop this, please. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know how to get access to the building. Please go in this way.
She's the assessor. She invited us inside here.
Okay,
this is
her
office.
Please stop this.
No, we're going to keep recording. Can you tell us who told you to kick us out of here?
This is my job.
Bruh.
So the police here were called to the scene because we were in the assessor's office at the assessor's invitation. The police heard our story and said, yeah, she has every right to invite them into her office. We came back out here to start working on our story, and the assessor came out to us and said, subsequently, all of the key fobs to allow her staff to get in the office have been deactivated, which means tomorrow morning they're going to set up card tables out here on the sidewalk outside the township center and address taxpayers' needs that way, because they will not be able to get inside. Now, we reached out to Tiffany Henyard to try to get some sort of response about why she initiated this, if she in fact did, although many here believe that she was the person that did this. So far, we've not heard anything back. Live in the South Suburbs, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Man like Dame, you know, big up, doing the Lord's work, because this is just facts. This is just evidence. This ain't no political gain. What do I have to gain from tearing another human down, let alone a black woman? What would I gain from that? This is just facts. This is what she be doing. Kicking people out of the office, other elected officials out of their office, and subsequently their staff. So they be out here in the fucking wilderness doing their work. This is the type of person that person was supporting. This is the mayor that person was caping for. Putting a whole paragraph underneath my video talking about political gain and, you know, YouTubers like you need to do some more research and X, Y, and Z. Bruv, where's the research that I asked for you? Because this is my research. But there's more. There's more. Do you remember seeing that spokesperson? Along my research, I came to find out that she was relieved of her spokesperson's duties, and she came to a trustees meeting and expressed her frustrations over being dismissed, if you will. Let's have a look.
First and foremost, I want to apologize to the residents of Dolton, because I feel like this administration failed you all. So I do apologize. You know, you got a 37-year-old woman. She made history. Black woman, single mother. You know, that kind of resonates with me, right? So I really thought it was going to be better. I'm like, wow, because, you know, you coming off the year, the woman. I mean, how can you not vote for her? We just put Kamala Harris in office, right? Yes. Employee harassment. We have been told on numerous occasions that we will be fired if we do not comply. Numerous occasions that we'll be fired if we didn't comply. If we went to board meetings with the trustees, we'll be fired. If we went to tea with the trustees, we will be fired. If we return FOIA requests, we will be fired. In fact, if anybody been to the village hall, do you remember where the HR lady sat? I had to give up my office downstairs to put her down there so the trustees and the clerk couldn't get to her to ask questions about the money. I had to move 5 o'clock at night. Immediately. I had to move. I had to leave my office, my desk, and I didn't have nowhere to go. I had to sit around float. How am I running the mayor's office and I don't even have a desk? But the HR lady needed to be downstairs, so they couldn't ask her the questions that she needed to ask. Now, it wasn't no fault of hers. Now, then let me say that. Don't come down on the staff, because literally they're doing what they're told. Now,
but it ain't right.
She's supervisor. I'm going to go back in the story. So today, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's supervisor. Yes. Okay, she did her thing. Congratulations. Yes. Supervisor. What does supervisor do? I don't know. That's a conversation between me and the supervisor. So she told me to reach out to the people there and get a play-by-play of the job duties, because she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh, gosh.
But she's in control of what is it? $50 million budget, 185,000 residents. She don't even know her job. Yeah.
This is animosity between the trustees and her. This is ops on ops, bro. This is on site. Yo, she joined the ops. She was like, yo, there's no fraternizing with the opposition. And she quit. It's like, nah, fuck yeah, I'm going to the trustees. Yo, it's crazy. Tea with the trustees. Yay. This is This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. This shouldn't be happening. This is gang warfare in the mayor's office. This is gang warfare in the governmental official's office. Well, to be fair, politics is just organized gangs.
They do spend money like water, just being real. Oh, we ate good, the whole staff. Chicken, feeding seniors off of the Dolton dollar, because you know what she said? It's campaigning for her and seniors vote. Yeah, seniors vote. She ain't gonna come and say stop the recall, but what she gonna do is put a lavish party together and play some bingo so you like her. Also, the snow removal program, you notice they said you had to put a sign in the window? Yeah, she just wanted you to have her name in the window because it's campaigning. And that justify her sending it through the board to have them pay for it because it's campaigning. Because she can't have them do a campaign sign and say do it. So she going to call it a snow removal program. That I did the flyer. She had me lying to you all. That's why I apologize, because she said she was paying for it out of pocket. And then Public Works came and shoveled y'all snow. That call center that you all were calling, I own it. And I never charged a dime. Why? Because I genuinely care about the people.
I'm not going to bore you with the rest of it, but you can definitely find this video online, and she goes in. She goes in. This is just one of the employees who's been fired / quit her job because of her treatment and harassment of threatening to fire people if they didn't do exactly what she said, and, you know, make sure you don't talk to the trustees because they're the ops. Maybe that's why she needs so many bodyguards, because she's making a lot of enemies, it seems. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done, guys. I'm sorry, I've got to bring this research to you guys in such a fashion. But when someone calls you out, you have to show out. And this last piece of evidence is going to be the cherry on top. It's going to be the creme de la creme. It's going to be the greater the goose. Because Supermayor Tiffany Henyard decided it would be a good idea to hire a convicted, registered sexual assaulter to be part of her team. To work for the township, to work for Dolton, and to be involved in governmental affairs to do with people's private lives, to do with people's properties, to do with people's security. There's a registered sex offender, registered apist. I'm gonna say that again. Registered apist. He went to jail for 20 years. 2 decades, bruv. And now they're living up mansion life at the mayor's office. You can't make this up.
President of Dolton, what do you think about that hire?
They need to do a better job of background checking. That's awful.
Residents of South Suburban Dolton reacting to a Fox 32 investigation that found a new village employee with a dangerous criminal past.
He is a registered child offender, and he's now been hired by the village to go into people's homes and businesses.
Now, furious village trustees are taking steps to curb the mayor's power. Fox 32's Dane Placco broke the story, and he has the latest from Dolton.
What is the situation involving your background?
Well, my background, a childhood background, over 30 years ago.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond wasn't happy to see us when we encountered him today behind Dolton Village Hall. But listen again to the person on the phone telling him to stop talking.
30 years ago.
We don't know who that is, but we do know who got Redmond his village job. Redmond is close to new Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and worked on her campaign. Records obtained by Fox 32 show that on September 20th, Redmond was hired as a code enforcement officer for the village of Dolton, a job that gives him access inside homes and businesses, which is why Dolton residents were shocked when we showed them what we found online.
Oh my God. Don't they supposed to do background checks before they allow these people in these kind of positions?
Oh no.
One would think, right?
Yeah.
That's because Redmond is listed as a child offender on the Illinois State Police Registry. He served 24 years of a 50-year sentence for taking part in the brutal gang beating of 2 young girls in the Roseland neighborhood in 1991. News reports at the time say Redmond was one of 4 young men who kidnapped the girls and took them to an abandoned garage where they were sexually assaulted and beaten with boards and guns.
I would be terrified to know now if he had come to my house to do a code inspection. I'll be terrified.
That's crazy. I don't know. He won't get in my house, though.
Dalton trustees say Redmond was hired directly by Mayor Henyard and her village administrator, former Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown. Did the trustees have any input in this hire?
No, the trustees have not had any input on any hire since the swearing in of this administration.
We tried talking to Mayor Henyard, but a police officer in front of her home told us we couldn't knock on the door.
One of the goons.
Later, the mayor issued a statement. I and the village of Dolton take the safety of our residents very serious, and we would never put our residents in jeopardy. In regard to the matter of the employee who's the subject of recent news stories, know that the incident referred to occurred nearly 30 years ago, and they paid their debt to society. We believe that a person can be rehabilitated, and we believe in second chances.
You know, I'm for second chances, but the fact that he's on the registry and the fact that he's going inside of homes, that's what caused an alarm and caused concern for me in regards to my safety and the rest of the residents.
In Dolton, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
As you can see, Superman Tiffany Henyard isn't so super after all. I don't know how she can get away with this, how she can hire a registered offender and give him a position that allows him the ability to enter people's homes, people's places of work, so he could potentially go into schools. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And the fact that this was allowed to happen is disgusting. And I'm all for second chances, right? But there's a difference between a second chance and playing with fire. And boy, you out here in the fire pit doing up a madness. Hey, I can't say anymore. Actually, I will say one thing, right? I couldn't find the footage, but I will put it here. She and that registered offender are in a relation. Let me not go that far. Are engaged in extra work affairs. Let's just say that.
I saw it come up in the comment section on YouTube, so the next day I pulled him and I pulled Tiffany in the office. I said, y'all got 48 hours before this place is swarmed with media. I need to know what happened. She said, I didn't know. He looked at her kind of funny, but he didn't open his mouth. Later, I found out not only she knew, she was his friend. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to stay out of that because that's personal. We're going to keep it business. But now I understand why she's standing behind her friend.
Well, on that note, let me know what you think about Superman Tiffany Henyard. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, so I know it's been a long video, but I'm editing this and I've just stumbled upon this gem of a video. And I have to let you guys know about it. Let's go. You gotta get my first reactions.
I know y'all know this by now, so just sing along with me, okay? Let's do it. I woke up this morning, got up out of my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for another day and all the blessings that you sent my way. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave, but you told death, get back and behave. Another blessing, ooh-wee, another blessing, ooh-wee, another blessing, ooh-wee, lungs, y'all, and I can walk. I got my mouth and I can still talk. In a pandemic and I'm safe, y'all. I got my lungs, y'all, and I can breathe.
Yo, this was filmed in 2022 and released. How people are still playing R. Kelly songs in public and in this fashion with who she's hiring, and she's playing this guy and hiring the people she's hiring. Yo, she's just playing in front of our face at this point.
Kidding on my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb. Dropping blood tears and even breaking bones. I'm sipping on Patron while aiming for the throne. I've been to hell and back and even call it